Hey snowflakes and Snow Whites, this is theTube. We have a super busy, buzzy show tonight and that's what's on it. Will Israel become a lead player in the Bitcoin global scene? Can BitTorrent change its branding from Lords of Piracy to, well, being legit? What happens when 3D technology meets the world of medicine? And what political meme is driving the net crazy? That's just some of our topics, so let's start. Are you still talking about the Sochi Olympic Games? Maybe not so much if you are in Russia. Apparently, Kiev is totally raining on Putin's parade. While the news from Kiev is making headlines globally, Twitter analytics demonstrate that today's events in Ukraine galvanize Russian speakers more than the rest of the world. During the last 24 hours on Twitter, Russian users' interest in Ukraine has surpassed their attention to the Olympics. The celebrations are, well, off. Meanwhile, protesters are continuing in their efforts to upload as much as they can from the demonstrations. More and more amazing and totally crazy footage is being seen around the world. Here's a short collection from last night in Kiev, where 25 people were killed. Stay strong, Kiev, stay strong. Let's move on. Yesterday, we talked about the rise of the Bitcoin community in Israel. A lot of people believe in Bitcoin as the currency of the future, and among those people, there are those who believe this little startup nation can be a world leader in Bitcoin and digital currency innovation. Today, the Bank of Israel rained on the local Bitcoin parade together with the Ministry of Finance, issuing a warning against the virtual currency, claiming it is used to finance terror, among other evil doings and dangers to the consumer. So, will the Israeli Bitcoin scene grow to its full potential, or will it be stopped by bureaucratic regulation and government intervention? With us via phone to answer these questions is Manny Rosenfeld, chairman of the recently established Israeli Bitcoin organization. Good evening.
Good evening.
We started exploring the Israeli Bitcoin scene yesterday, and today the Bank of Israel issued a statement calling not to invest in Bitcoin. What are your thoughts about this statement?
Well, I think we need to be very clear about what exactly the Bank of Israel said and didn't say. Now, he didn't say that people shouldn't use Bitcoin or shouldn't invest in Bitcoin. What they said is that there are some risks involved in dealing with Bitcoin, which is completely true, and I agree. There are risks, and we need to know how to deal with those risks and how to mitigate them. So actually, if you look at the specific points that were made in this announcement, then many of them are not really argued. I mean, we can all agree about them. Some of them, we can discuss some specifics. Maybe some of the risks aren't really as big as they try to make them. But the general point is that people definitely should be aware of all the risks, but it shouldn't stop them from using Bitcoin because it's an amazing technology.
But aren't you worried? But aren't you worried that that Israel might ban Bitcoin like it happened in India?
I don't think that's a reasonable scenario. Now, even in the rest of the world, I'm not sure it's accurate to say that any country banned Bitcoin. They also issued warnings and some limitations and so on. But especially with the Western civilizations, it really doesn't look like they're going to ban it. They are exploring it. They're trying to figure out how to use its potential without being exposed to all these risks. So I think it's good that they are addressing this issue and exploring it, and I hope that together we can find a solution that will benefit everyone.
So basically you're telling me that you're working together with the Israeli government. Now, the whole thing of Israel Bitcoin organization, what is it? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, the Israeli Bitcoin Association is a non-profit organization which has the goal of promoting Bitcoin in Israel and making sure everyone can benefit the most out of it. And there are several activities that we do. One of them is indeed being in dialogue with the authorities and the government and the banks and so on in order to find out a solution that will assuage their fears but also allow people to use it. We're also involved in explanations about Bitcoin and education. We're holding conferences. For example, next week on Thursday, we will have the biggest conference about Israel to date where everyone can come to learn about it and so on.
Well, do you think Israel can become a Bitcoin empire? I mean, what makes us more open to the idea than, say, in the US?
Well, Israel is the startup nation. It's a country with a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of also social activity. So this is the perfect place both for people to create startups and ventures which promote Bitcoin and offer related services. And it's also a place where people are very favorable of the idea of social protest and creating new economic structures that don't have some of the disadvantages of the older systems.
Okay, sounds amazing. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Sure.
Okay, have you heard about a guy called Ed Miliband? Well, maybe not until now, but that's all going to change. Miliband is the not very charismatic head of the Labour Party in England, hoping to get into the Prime Minister's seat one day. Until now, he was mostly unnoticed by world media and British voters, so to prove he can be remembered, he became a meme, unintentionally. When Ed Miliband visited the floods in Raisbury, little could residents have anticipated the dramatic figure who would arrive at their doorstep. Miliband made a very dramatic posture, and the internet, well, reacted, making him a figure to remember. And now he is an American hero, or just a movie star. So heroic. Look how masculine he is. That's a man who can save you from disaster. Now we all know who the Labour leader is. Good job, Ed. That's the way to do your politics. Okay, 12 years ago, Amanda Boxtel took an unfortunate fall while skiing in Aspen, Colorado. The fall left her paralyzed from the waist down. But now, after 12 years, Boxtel has taken her first step thanks to her new 3D printed robotic exoskeleton. Boxtel's new exoskeleton, the first of its kind, was custom built for her. Designers from 3D Systems scanned her body to make it suit exactly for her. By using a special 3D scanning system, the Sense 3D scanner we spoke about recently, the team that made the exoskeleton was able to create the custom underlining geometry to match. Check it out and prepare to be moved. Wow, and think that that's just the beginning. We haven't seen all 3D printers can do yet. Absolutely amazing. Okay, when we say BitTorrent, you must think of piracy, right? Well, the company behind BitTorrent wants to change exactly that. BitTorrent's protocol lets people easily share large computer files with each other, and since it launched in 2001, those files have primarily been pirated movies, TV shows, games, and music. Late last year, the San Francisco-based BitTorrent started selling content legally via a new service called Bundles. The concept behind Bundles is sort of iTunes Store meets sharing economy. BitTorrent's Bundles' biggest seller, Innocence, the latest album by Moby, was downloaded 9 million times from the Bundles website, kind of proof of concept for the company that wants to show that it's not about copyright infringement. So hey, regulators, leave BitTorrent alone. They're good. It's gaming just for girls. Sure it is, girlfriend. No, but seriously, there's a big bias against women in the gaming world, and maybe Nintendo can finally change that. Over the weekend, Nintendo UK debuted a new YouTube channel called the Nintendo Girls Club. The first episode of the weekly show features British actress Georgie Porter discussing the game Animal Crossing New Leaf. Here's a clip from the episode.
And welcome to Nintendo Girls Club and my introduction to the amazing world of Animal Crossing New Leaf. This extra special game is unlike anything else you've ever played. It's just you in your very own little town full of amazing animal characters and fun things to do. You get to be the mayor and you do all sorts of things that make your own town extra special. I know that might sound like a lot of responsibility, but don't worry, because you'll have plenty of help from loads of new friends along the way. And don't forget, I'm always here too, Matt. As soon as you're off the train, you get to meet your very own assistant, Isabel.
The channel is meant to promote news and trends in the world of Nintendo, geared specially towards a new generation of girls who love gaming. Sexism in the gaming industry is still very much alive, and women are still called fakes for being gamers. So let's hope Nintendo can switch the stereotype here. Game on, you girls. It's the best. Now, the Social Watch. So, did you already binge the entire House of Cards second season? Wasn't that ending scary as hell? Well, we have another year to wait until season 3. In the meantime, let's take some of Frank's great advice to life. Don't worry, no spoilers.
Any pugilist worth his salt knows when someone's on the ropes. That's when you throw a combination to the gut and a left hook to the jaw. In Gaffney, we had our own brand of diplomacy. Shake with your right hand, but hold a rock in your left. I've always loathed the necessity of sleep. Like death, it puts even the most powerful men on their backs. The heart can choke the mind when all its blood flows back onto itself. There can be no false steps now. The higher up the mountain, the more treacherous the path. Good things happen to good people. Avoid wars you can't win, and never raise your flag for an asinine cause like slavery. When the money's coming your way, you don't ask any questions.
When the money comes your way, you don't ask any questions. Machine, they already beat us in chess, in Jeopardy, and now maybe, just maybe, they will beat us in ping pong. On the 11th of March, Timo Ball, table tennis star, will have to beat a machine. We, the humankind, are surrendering in advance. My nightmares are created from images like a machine that can beat me. Okay, let's move on. If you are popular in school, if you are a king or queen of your class, you need to take some advice from these people. Please listen, it's important, because you're all doomed.
I was very popular in high school.
Always invited to every party.
It was a good time.
I mean, most days were amazing. The rest were just great.
And we have a message for the popular kids of today.
People used to tell me I had big, beautiful eyes all the time. Don't really hear that much anymore.
I used to have the coolest car in the school. IROC Z. Still have it. But what, it's not cool anymore? It's the same car.
So if you're really popular...
Ha! I was not the king of my class. And that's it. We have to wait for each other for yet another 24 hours, but don't worry, I'm online on Twitter and our Tumblr. We'll put the whole Queen and King class thing on our Tumblr. It's Tube24. Until we meet again, always remember, what is a friend? A single soul dwelling in two bodies. That's Aristotle. Goodbye.